Hello everyone, Ranjitha here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another interesting card making tutorial. I am here to show you how to make a flower pot easel card. This is a very easy, simple variation of a normal easel card. For this card I am going to use some digital images. So without any further ado, let's quickly get into the tutorial. For making this flower pot easel card, all you require is a top folding A2 sized card base along with two other pieces of cardstock. The measurements for these cardstocks are given on the screen. This card is a very simple variation of the regular easel card that you make. So as you can see here, I'm first starting with this 11" by 4¼ card base, and I'm scoring it at 5½ inches and 8 inches. And then I am folding and creasing the score marks as such, so you have your easel base ready. Now let's quickly go ahead and make the flower pot that will be standing on this easel. So as you can see here, on the 3¼ inch side, I am making a marking of ½ inch on either side, and then I will be connecting it to the top edge. You can clearly see it in the video here. This is just to create a tapered edge for my flower pot. Now I'm going to quickly cut off the area that I have marked here. So this will give you the flower pot shape. So the width at the base of this flower pot measures 2¼ inches. So I will be marking 1 inch on either side of the card base so that I can place this flower pot exactly in the middle of the card. However, you can just entirely eyeball it, but I'm a little very particular with measurements, so I like everything being perfectly placed. So I'm marking 1 inch on either side, and so my flower pot is now perfectly placed in the center. Now for the top of the card, you remember the thin piece of card strip that we have cut? I'm placing it so, and I'm making sure it aligns with the crease that we have made, and then I'm pasting it on the base of the flower pot here. Keep in mind that I have not yet adhered my flower pot to the base. I'm just adhering the top or the brim of the flower pot to the base here. So as you can see here, I did this because I wanted my flower pot to align with the crease that we have made. I wanted to add some more interest to this flower pot, so I am taking an embossing folder and I am placing this entire piece of flower pot and the brim here on the embossing folder, and I am just running it through my die cutting machine. To add a distressed look to my flower pot, I am just taking some white pigment ink and just slightly adding a hint of this pigment ink over my embossed area. This brings in a little more interest to my embossed flower pot. Now that our base and flower pot is ready, now let's quickly go ahead and color a bunch of flowers. So as you can see here, I've printed out the floral images from Varada Sharma's February release. They are beautiful set of florals. However, for today's card, I'm just playing around with just one set of these beautiful flowers. Make sure you check out the entire release. There are some amazing and beautiful flowers in the collection. So all I'm doing is I plan my images so that I make use of my cardstock to the maximum, and I print out multiple images at the same time so that I can color them whenever I'm free and I can make some cards on the go. So here you can see I'm just doing some basic coloring using my alcohol markers. Very basic coloring. All I'm doing is going over with some light shade of a color first, and then I'm going around with a darker shade and adding some shadows to this. For the smaller flowers, I'm going ahead and coloring it with shades of purple. Like I told you, I will first go ahead and add a lighter shade of purple, and then wherever I want to add shadows, I'm going with a darker shade. For the roses, I wanted to color them yellow. I really like yellow roses, and I thought it complements well to my card base as well. So just like I've told you, first I go with a lighter shade, and then I take the darker shade of yellow and just add shadows. So here I am not very expert in coloring, but all I'm doing is at the base of the petal I wanted it to be darker. So I'm adding a darker shade of yellow at the base of the petal, leaving the tips of the petal little lighter. I do enjoy coloring a lot, and I keep experimenting with different coloring mediums like color pencils, watercolors, alcohol markers, etc. But for today's florals, I'm trying to show you how you can very easily and quickly add a little more interest to your regular coloring by just adding two different tones of the same color. So as you can see here, I'm just going ahead and first coloring it with a lighter shade and then adding some darker shades here and there, especially at the base of the petals, to add more interest to these flowers. So here you can see I've colored two bunches of the same floral stamp set, and I'm going to quickly fussy cut them so that we can arrange these beautiful flowers onto our flower pot easel card. Now that our card base, colored and fussy cut digital images and the pattern paper is ready, now let's quickly go ahead and put this card together. All I'm doing is now I'm adhering the pattern paper first onto the card base here, and then I'm adhering the flower pot base onto the front of the easel card here. This is a very simple modification to your regular easel card. It is quick and easy, but it adds so much more interest to your floral images. So as you can see here, I am carefully aligning the flower pot here that we have embossed and added some white ink over it. Also, if you're adding some white pigment ink, make sure that you give enough time so that you don't smudge your ink. Now I am carefully cutting off all the excess, making sure that I do not cut the actual flower pot base. Our easel with the flower pot is ready. Now I am going to arrange these fussy cut floral images onto this flower pot like this. I will be popping them up with some double-sided foam adhesive just to add some more dimension. I am filling my flower pot with just yellow roses. However, you can make it more colorful by adding different colored flowers and different types of flowers as well. In order to help our easel stand in place, we need to add a stopper, and for that I have die cut a card base and pattern paper out of an ornate frame, and I've stamped a sentiment onto the pattern paper, and now I would be adhering this pattern paper onto the card base and then mounting it with double-sided foam adhesive just to hold the easel in place. This would act like a stopper and prevent our flower pot from falling off. After this, I've decided to add some pattern paper to the top as well. So I'm cutting out a pattern paper and then I'm adhering it onto the top of the card to finish the card. That's it. A quick, easy, beautiful flower pot easel card is ready. You can see the close-up images of the finished card here. A regular top folding A2 card base with just a little variation would turn into this beautiful flower pot easel card. This is the best way you can use those beautiful floral bunches and stamp sets that you have. I hope you liked this tutorial and you will also definitely give this card folding a try. I really liked how beautiful this card turned out. A perfect card for the upcoming Women's Day. I hope you would give it a try too. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't done it yet, kindly consider subscribing to my channel and also do follow me on all my social media. The links are given in the description box below. Thank you.